What's up, Big Dawg? Welcome to 5-Star Lineman Academy. Man, I'm so excited to get this work in today. We're gonna work your stance and start. We're gonna get your first step better, baby. Let's go to work. If you wanna be a good D lineman, it starts with your stance, okay? Heel-toe ratio is very important. Now, you can use this white line or you can grab a stick. If it's run, you want that back foot on that heel. You do not want a long stance on run because see this here? This tells me how long my step is gonna be. That's too long. That offensive lineman is coming at me. I can't afford to take a long step like that because he's coming at me. Watch this. Heel-toe ratio. If I put my back foot this far, that's too long of a step, way too long. By the time I replace my hand with my first step, I'm getting punched. That's too long, okay? So that's why that back foot for run needs to be on that back heel. See the difference there? Okay? Now, this is where my step should go. This is a lot better than that. That's why we go heel-toe ratio, okay, for run. Really important. The next thing I want to emphasize is my front foot. My front leg. And this is extremely important. If you're talking about maximizing power out of your hips, this is important, okay? Now, heel-toe ratio, same deal. This is a run stance. This front leg, for one, needs to be under me, okay? It's very important. But not only does it need to be under me, it needs to form a 90-degree angle. It needs to form a 90-degree angle. This is the angle that's going to maximize hip power here. If it's too low, it's going to be hard to come out of your hips, and I'm angled the wrong way. My arrow, which I'll show you in a second, is pointing that way. If it's too high, that's way over 90, and I'm not aiming to, again, to explode out of my stance. You want a 90 degree on that front leg. This is going to maximize your first step. Really important, okay? That front leg, the leg that's up front, needs to form 90 degrees. Okay, I don't care how tall or short you are, that front leg, again, needs to be in a 90-degree angle. Okay, that's how you're gonna maximize power off your first step. Your butt needs to be slightly above your head. That's a good indication your power leg is at a 90-degree angle. Watch. 90-degree angle. My butt should be slightly above my head. That's a good indication. If it's under or even, that's not 90 degrees. If it's way above my head, that's not 90 degrees. It needs to be slightly above my head. Now I'm locked and loaded in my hips. And now I know I have a pretty good stance because my butt is slightly above my head. Okay, that's how you know you're at a good 90-degree angle. Hand placement. Your feet placement, hip placement. Now we're doing hand placement. I have this white line, okay? It's important to make sure that your front hand is leading or in line, vertical aligned with your back foot. It's really important. Let me show you, okay? So, now we're talking about weight distribution. The hand determines how much weight I have on one side than the other, or how much weight I have forward or backwards. This right hand or left hand, whichever hand is down, the down hand is really important. It's what's gonna make you balance, okay? So I'm gonna put my back foot on this white line. Again, if you don't have a white line, get a stick. Get a stick, put that stick down, line it up with your back foot. Put that hand, that down hand, right on, okay, right on the stick. That way you know that I actually have a line going from my back foot to my hand. Now, be careful I don't put it too far out. If I put my hand too far out, my weight distribution is too forward. The only place I can go is straight. Okay, it's too much weight. If I have this much weight on my hands, it's gonna be hard for me to pick my hands up. If it's hard for me to pick my hands up, then how am I gonna punch you if I can't pick my hands up, big dog? I gotta get my hands up. That means that I gotta lighten up the weight on my hands. If you get in your stance, and I say pick your hands up, and you can't pick them up, then how you gonna punch? Think about it. So you wanna have the perfect balance. I'm not saying you want your hands so close to your front foot that it's like that, okay? But you do want it to be balanced. That way, I have good power. My weight is always on my front foot. My weight is also on my front hand, and I have good balance. Make sure that hand is in line with that back foot. If you take your hand and put it outside of that line, like this, do you see how I'm leaning? Look where my weight is. This is a problem, okay? You don't want your hand that far outside your back foot, never. What if I put my hand inside the stick? Now, if I put my hand inside the stick, again, look where my weight is. My weight distribution is not good. It needs to be in line with your back foot. Right there. That's the perfect stance. And you're ready to take your step. Coach, how far do I put down my down hand? Here, let me give you an idea, okay? I have my shoe. Always heel toe ratio. I have my shoe. I got a big shoe. I wear size 14. You know what I'm saying? Big dog got a big foot, right? But whatever shoe you have, I will probably say about a shoe and a half, okay? From your front foot, about a shoe and a half. Shoe and a half, okay? But right there is perfect. That's a good stance, okay? Anything closer than that, that's too light of a stance. You're not gonna be able to punch with power off the ball. Anything further than that, again, too heavy. I can't pick up my hands. I can't get off my hands. And if you can't get off your hands, big dog, you're not gonna punch it. You're gonna throw the flipper, which we don't play football like that in the trenches. Not anymore. That was like the 1980s or something. This 2016, big dog. You gotta play with these. Okay, these things right here. These hands are a blessing. Use your hands, man. So about a shoe and a half. Not big dog shoe. You know what I'm saying? Well, depends on if that's how tall you are. Okay. But I'm about 6'2", you know. That's all right. 6'2". I take what I got and I learn to use what I have. But about a shoe and a half is where you want to put your hand down. That's a good indication. Okay. Not a shoe. That's kind of light. That's kind of light. Need a little bit more balance. Now I'm balanced. Balance means power. 50-50. Man, this might be like 70-30. But where my power coming from? My hands or my legs? Okay? My legs, where my power coming from. These shocks, with this explodes. Here we go again with these planes. I'm doing big dog football, man. Somebody ain't telling me I'm filming today. And they just keep flying over me like that. So big dog, I wanted to show you the difference between the read and react and strike and attack. Okay, so here's the read and react. I'm gonna show you on the bag. I got my rings, so as you can see that I'm replacing my hand with my front foot. Read and react. Okay, that's the difference. Here's strike and attack. A little bit heavier hands. Got my hands a little bit further away from my foot, but I'm going to be more of an attacker out of my stance. A little elongated stance. Adjusting my rings. Watch the difference. Here's strike and attack. Remember, a shoe and a half away from my front foot. Now we're going to strike and attack. 90-degree angle, butt slightly above my head. Okay, that's more strike and attack. Okay, here we go. Here's my stance. Heel toe ratio. Again, strike and attack. My hands a little bit further away from my front foot. I'm 90 degrees. My hands in line with my back foot. I got my hand ready to punch. I'm loaded, slightly above my head. That's strike and attack. Okay, remember, Big Dog, you got to be a balanced player. You got to be able to get in a left hand stance and a right hand stance. We just get our left hand stance. Now we're going to do our right hand stance. Now, make sure either your hands on the ground are horizontal or vertical. I like horizontal. That way I can just punch and get my hands right on his chest plate, right in there. My thumbs are already up if my hands are horizontal on the ground. You understand what I'm saying, Big Dog? You don't want them vertical, okay? You want them horizontal. Really, it's up to you. I like horizontal. That way I get my hands right into them. Now, here is my right hand stance. Make sure, again, my hand is in line with my back foot, whether I'm reading and reacting or striking and attacking. Either way, I want my hand, if I'm reading and reacting, closer to my front foot. Here we go. Right there, close to my front foot. I'm in line with my back foot, and I'm going to read and react. That's what that means. I'm going to read, punch him, read, stay square, and react. One more time. Read and react. Horizontal hands, hips are slightly above my head, feet underneath me, heels turned out. Going to read and react, okay? Now, my personal favorite, strike and attack. I'm a striker, Big Dog. I'm gonna strike you. You understand? I'm coming at you hard. I'm punching. I'm loaded out of my hips, and I'm throwing my hands out, and I'm punching you. That's how I play. You feel me? Here we go. Now, I want my hands a shoe and a half away from my front foot. Here we go. Slightly above my head, 90-degree angle. My hands horizontal, and I'm gonna strike and attack. Ha! That's me. That's how I play. One more time. Ha! Okay, that's how Big Dog get down. Here, again, my hand goes there, horizontal. I want to replace my hand with my first step. Right here. Here we go. Right there. That's the key. If you step outside that ring, too far. Too far. Okay, now it's time to rush the passer. Now, this is a different kind of stance. This is a whole different mechanism somewhat, okay? That run stance is different than your pass rush stance. In that run stance, you got to get that first step down in a hurry. You got to have that. Why? You got to have the 6-inch power step because you can't get caught on run foot. Can't take that big step like that. Now, pass rush is different. Pass rush, I'm trying to maximize each and every step I take. I want to go over the pass rush 3-point stance. Okay, now this is different. I want a little elongated stance because I want to take a longer step. If that offensive lineman is kicking on you, you got to cover ground. You can't take that small step and he kicks and he's waiting on you. You still got to get through him. So the quicker you can get up on him, the quicker you can do your move. That means I might want to take a longer step, okay? Now, here's my pass rush stance. You still have the heel toe ratio, but in my pass rush stance, my back foot has a little bit more freedom to be a little bit further away from my heel. Watch. Okay, this is pretty good. My back foot is not heel toe ratio anymore because I don't want to take a small step. I need to take a bigger step. So in pass rush, my back foot needs to be back a little bit more. That was my left hand stance. Got to be able to get in the right and left hand stance. Want to be a balanced defensive lineman. Right and left hand stance. Work on both. Work on your right hand stance. Work on your left hand stance. You can't be on the right side, only in the right hand stance, and go to the left side and be in the right hand stance again. Now the offensive lineman know what you're going to do. You want to be balanced, man. You want to be able to rush either right or left-handed on either side of the ball. Doesn't matter, big dog, where they line you up at, you can rush from that side. Work on both stances. Here's my right hand stance. Heel-toe ratio. Okay, I put my hand down, but I'm going to adjust my back foot right there. Right hand stance, left hand stance. Left hand stance, right hand stance. You got to be able to get in both stances with no problem. Okay, that's the pass rush stance. You still want that down hand in line with that back leg. That's still important, okay? This is what you want right there. That way you know where your first step is going. Your first step is going where your down hand is. That's my right hand stance. Watch my left hand stance. Got to be balanced, big dog. Both stances. Here we go. Okay, so what you see is, you know which way I'm stepping. I'm going vertical, okay? My foot is under me, still 90 degrees, but my hand is a little bit further out. That way I can explode off the ball. Okay, that's what we gotta have. We talked about our pass rush in a three-point stance. Okay, at least our feet. Okay, we talked about how those feet need to be back a little bit further so that you have more explosion. You can take a longer step to gain ground and beat them hopefully to that spot's what you want to do. But what I want is I want this hand loaded. On my hip, okay? Why, coach? So that I can throw or split, what I call split out of your stance. It's a track term, okay? If you let your hands go, your hips and feet will follow. If you let your hands go, your hips and feet will follow, okay? Your hands control your hips and your feet. So if you throw them, if you throw your hands, you're gonna explode out of your hip and from your foot. For our pass rush, okay, I wanna show you something. Before I get into, again, continuing a pass rush stance, but I wanna show you something. I have this ring right here. Okay, the reason why I have this ring right here is because this is the spot that as a defensive end, I wanna get to. Get my three-point stance. A little triangle is formed, somewhat of a triangle, okay? From here, see that? To here. That's the spot I want to beat him to. That triangle right there tells me my spot. That's why we've got to get off the ball. Pass rush stance, okay? Now, in the pass rush stance again, I want my foot, it's gonna be further back than my run stance, you understand? It's gonna be further back. Now, whether your inside foot is up or your outside foot is up determines what kind of pass rush move you wanna do. Right now, I'm gonna just show you with the inside foot up as to which foot goes up depending on what pass rush move I'm doing. But you can't do the same, you can't have the same foot placement and you do every single move. It don't work like that. Your foot placement for the move you're doing is very important. We'll go over that in another vlog. But right here, I just want to show you that triangle that I need to attack. I need to beat him to that spot. I'm in my three-point stance. Inside foot is up. I got my hand, I got my foot, my back foot back, my hips slightly above my head, and now I'm going to split. But I'm trying to beat him to that spot, right here. Boom. Okay, I got to beat him to that spot. Why, coach? Because when he kicks, I want him to feel threatened, and I want him to open up his hips That's gonna allow me to carve the corner. Okay, that's gonna allow me to bend this corner if he feels that I'm a threat to him and I'm beating him to this spot. You understand what I'm saying? That's why we've got to get off the ball and we've got to split and explode out of our hips. We've got to let our hands go, let our hips and feet follow. That way he feels threatened. Now, if I'm not getting off the ball because I'm taking a false step and he happens to get here first, he's not going to open. Why? Because he's in front of me. He doesn't have to open up his hips because he's in front of me. Do you understand? And so the importance is that I want him to feel threatened. Threatened by what? Threatened by a speed rush on the outside. That way he has to take a long step. And I can catch him on this. I can catch him on this 1 foot here. If I catch him, he has no power. Okay? It's one and kick. If I'm to his hip already, to this spot here, he's going to be open, okay, because he's not in front of me. That's what I want. Does that make sense, Big Dawg? So you have to get off the ball. Okay, get into your stance, split, throw your hands, get off the ball. Inside foot is up. Get hips loaded in my hips and split. Okay, beat him off the ball. Beat him to that spot, Big Dawg. Again, right here. Get in your stance. Get ready to play, baby. Get loose. Hips up, loaded, and split. Beat him to that spot. Okay, that's my right hand stance. We're just gonna stay on this side, but I'm gonna get in my left hand stance. Now this is gonna be a different move, but still I just wanna show you my get off here. Okay, again, loaded, 90-degree, hand on my hip so I can split. Get off the ball. Ah! Good get off, Big Dawg. I still got it a little bit. I think so. I get you at least 1 or 2 seconds in the NFL game. I said it. Here we go. Right here. Hips up. Hand on my hip. Ah! Ooh. Hey, your boy feeling good today. Big Dawg feel good, I'm telling you. Okay? But that's my angle that I want to take right here. I'm loaded in my hips, and I'm going to split. Big Dawg got to shake too. Keep working, baby. Hey, Big Dawg, that was some good work today, man. Hey, keep getting better and keep working. Hey, 5-star athlete.